Hey everyone, Once Bitten here with a battle report for a game I had last night, my Bretonnians versus a Warriors of Chaos army. This is one you've seen recently, this army I'm playing against. Rolled up a dawn attack scenario, and I feel like I should say right up front that this game was really last minute, and when I rushed to the store, I got there late, and so because I was rushing so much, many of my pictures are blurry because I was snapping them as fast as I can, trying to make the game move along at a very fast clip. Anyway, just one of the more interesting games I've played. Starting again, this is Dawn Attack. So where we deployed was up to a die roll. So here on the far left corner, my opponent's far right, he's got 50 Marauders with a level 2 spellcaster, a unit of Chaos Warriors with his Battle Standard Bearer and his General, all tucked away in the far corner. Fast Cav, you see, has another unit of Fast Cav in the upper right, and a Hell Cannon. And here's a close-up of his level 2 Lord Fire. I just don't remember what other stuff he had on him. His BSB and his General, I don't know their whole kit. They kill things really, really well. Here on the right, you can see in the opposite corner, he has his Giant and another unit of 50 Marauders with another spellcaster. This one, I believe, was Tzeentch. So, amazingly, all mine had to go in the far right corner. I rolled a 2 for almost everything. The Fast Cav started down below and they vanguarded up. From right to left, I have 50 men-at-arms. I've got my unit of Knights of the Realm with 3 characters in there. 50 more men-at-arms with, let's see, with a character. Yeah, there we go. And then Knights Errant with the Errantry banner with my General. And then up ahead of them are some Pegasus Knights. So the General's actually, he rolled to be in the middle, but I pushed him to the right so I could have his leadership where everything else was because I know my opponent has a Hell Cannon. So then I have a Trebuchet, some archers, another Trebuchet, and there's some more archers to the far left. So just really weird, and both of us really felt, just based on the rolls for deployment, that the game was almost automatically mine. I mean, I have all my troops facing a big unit of his Marauders, and it's possible that his units on the far left may not even get into combat. So, yeah, so anyway, we go to Warriors of Chaos turn 1, and very first turn, his Hell Cannon fails his Rampage roll and had to try to charge the Pegasus Knights, which was unfortunate. I mean, great for me because he couldn't shoot. Otherwise, you can see he shoots his Fast Cav up there. They have the mark of Slaanesh, I guess, because they are immune to panic tests, so I can shoot at them, but unless I kill all of them, those guys are going to get the charge off. And otherwise, he's just trying to get his guys up as quickly as possible. So overall, it looks like that. You can see he's kind of hanging back with his Marauders because he wants his other infantry to be able to catch up a little bit before he gets them involved in a fight. And he moves his Giant around, really just to be a thorn in my side, which he is. So Bretonnian turn 1, I charged the Peg Knights into his Hell Cannon, hoping they would just survive, hold him up for a turn, and then when inevitably one of them dies or they break from combat, I'm thinking I can charge my General's unit, which is the big blurry unit top left of my stuff, right in the middle of the shot. He's got Heroic Killing Blow. He's a great one to take out the Hell Cannon. And if he can take them out and then reform to face his big block of Marauders on the right, I would be very, very happy. Otherwise, I move up, as you can see. These guys, this is my far left unit of archers. They tried to charge his Fast Cav. It would have been in the flank. It would have been so beautiful. It would have kept that unit from that Fast Cav unit from charging my Trebuchet. They needed to roll a 7, and they failed it. So these are my Peg Knights charging the Hell Cannon. And overall, it looks like that. So by the way, no, we didn't even exchange wounds. It was I won combat by 1 with the Peg Knights, and we stuck around. So we go to Warriors of Chaos turn 2. His Fast Cav charges my Trebuchet, as you can see. This kind of surprised me. I kind of thought that he would charge his Giant into my men-at-arms, and, you know, he would be beating him every round of combat. I'd be stubborn 8 rerollable. And he was thinking that ultimately I would get enough wounds to kill the Giant. So he just kind of sidestepped him and moved around, which really surprised me. Is kind of a clever little idea. Over here you can see he killed my Trebuchet, and my archers on the right passed their panic test, which was just amazing. And here we were still locked in combat. I was actually kind of hoping I would lose combat and run to get out of the way so that my general could charge in, or for him to at least kill one of my guys. So as it is, the general's still just kind of hanging out, waiting for the Peg Knights to get out of his way. My Knights of the Realm, I took my Battle Standard Bearer out of that unit so he, last turn, so he could give rerolls to the peasants where I needed it. And the Knights of the Realm, I'm anxious. I don't want to move them up because I don't want the Hell Cannon to beat the Peg Knights and then charge my Knights of the Realm on his turn. I want my Knights Errant to get into a fight with that Hell Cannon. So I'm kind of hanging back for my Knights of the Realm, but they're pretty much safe. You can see most of his units are still on the very far left. At the very top, I take my Men-at-Arms up. I want him to go ahead and charge me whenever he wants to, and hopefully I'll be steadfast by then. And what I mean, well, I'll tell you what I mean in just a second. Anyway, over here I shoot at his fast calf, kill one. Over here, really for the most part, I'm ignoring his giant for now. And then during the magic phase, I go ahead and turn my damsel into a mountain chimera. Because, when they were going to charge into me, they would win combat and I probably wouldn't be steadfast because we were 10 ranks each. Now, I'm saying, if you want to come into me, I'm probably going to win that combat, unless you think you can dispel it in your phase. But even when you only need 16 to dispel, that isn't always a guaranteed thing. So just trying to force a hard decision on him. Plus, if he dispels it in his magic phase, that means he misses out on his magic phase for the most part. So I kind of like that decision. I got a rock to land on his marauders and killed, I think, 11 of them, which was just insane. And so now when we get in combat, I start off with more ranks, and so he's going to have to do a lot of catch up before I'm not going to be steadfast. This round of combat, he killed a Peg Knight and drove them off. And yeah, that was just kind of bad timing because I wanted to lose on his turn so that I could charge on my turn. So this was pivotal. I mean, up to this point of the game, we were both agreeing that the way he deployed, having to put his units way to the side, was really a disadvantage to him. Well, on this, he failed his rampage roll again on his Hell Cannon. The Hell Cannon went ahead and charged the Peg Knights. I couldn't flee from him, which was an automatic reaction because I was already fleeing, because that took place during the remaining moves, compulsory moves phase. So my Peg Knights were destroyed. It forced a panic test on my general's unit, and they failed their leadership 9. The Battle Standard Bearer was just out of range for a reroll, and my general came real close to fleeing right off the table. So what went from being just an auto win to me went to being very scary. The game just turned really interesting. Here on the left, you can see he's just mopping up all my small units. He's hoping to win the game by winning on points by getting a lot of my archers, my trebuchets, that kind of stuff off the table, and just surviving with his marauders on my right. You can notice, by the way, his marauders are not rushing into combat. Of course, if they did, if my guy's stuck, and I probably would have, I'd be able to flank charge him with my other big unit of men-at-arms. So he mops up over here. Bretonnian turn 3, I go ahead and charge both my men-at-arms units into his marauders. I was tempted just to charge in with one and try to march with the other one and maybe get into his side, flank charge on my next turn. But I really just kind of thought I would win this. I mean, he wouldn't be steadfast. I thought that I would, if I can get a Curse of Honor here off on him, that I might be able to do more wounds than him, break him, and then reform my guys. So I went ahead and did that. My general's unit rallied, which I really appreciated. Otherwise, the board looks like that. Trebuchet lands a rock on top of the Hell Cannon, does 3 wounds on it, which is actually really good. I mean, 2 more wounds would have been nice if I could have killed it, but now the thought, if I get in combat with it, I only have to do a couple wounds. So that makes it much, much more manageable. And here's this combat. You can see we rush in. I actually didn't do nearly as many wounds as I thought I would, although what I got was probably about odds. I did not get Curse of Honor here off on him, so I'm pretty sure he won that combat. I was steadfast. I think he won that. I don't know, whatever happened. We stuck around either way. I was steadfast. My BSB's nearby, granting a reroll. And then we go to his turn, so he wants to charge the giant into the rear of one of my men-at-arms units, and he, he rolls snake eyes. So just really, really, really unfortunate. I think he needed to roll a 4 or something like that. Really helps me, because that giant, when he gets in there, is going to just be an almost auto win combat, and then I'm just going to hope to just pass my steadfast rolls time and time again. Otherwise, you can see he is bringing his troops over. He's fast cav at the bottom, is taking care of my last trebuchet. That Warriors of Chaos unit is a tough nut to crack. He's got 2 characters in there. I really don't want to have anything to do with them in combat. There's that. Yeah, he easily beats the trebuchet and overruns. And this combat's fun. I mean, sometimes it's just a pillow fight. I think I'm doing usually 4 wounds on him. He's doing 4 or 5 on me. It's just kind of a push both ways. Now, my unit on the left has a 5-up ward save against his high strength attacks. So as much as he can, he's trying to target the unit on my right, but for the most part, he has to target the ones at the ward save. Bretonnian turn 4, so I take the Knights of the Realm. I finally charge the Hell Cannon. If I don't beat the Hell Cannon, I'm going to get flank charged by his general's unit, and that's probably going to be the game. But it only has 2 wounds on it. I've got a character in there, plus all those strength 5 attacks. I really need to beat him in combat. If I do, I can overrun and maybe get out of line of sight of his general's unit. And if not, if his general charges me, I can flee and maybe get away then. So it looks like that, and we're both holding our breath. That is a very, very important combat. I need to do 2 wounds. We go over here. You see there's Curse of Honor here, and so now he didn't do as many wounds on me, and my guys actually do a fair number of wounds on him. I end up winning combat only by 1, and he passes it. Darn it, because now the giant's coming in. Now, the battle with the Hell Cannon, by the way, I failed my fear test, so I was only hitting on 5s, and I thought that spelled the end of me. But thank goodness for my the Green Knight. He has a great weapon. I didn't list that on his profile, but he's weapon skill 10, but that didn't do him any good because he failed his fear test. So he's hitting on 5s, but he still hit 2, and he wounded both. And I think my other knights did 1 wound. He put another 2 wounds, so I had plenty of wounds to kill the thing. We overran and are just barely still in sight of his general. So his general charges, I flee. You know, the problem with playing Bretonnians in the lance formation is when you flee, your lance is so long that it's really easy for your opponent to catch you. I actually rolled a 10 for my distance, and both of us just kind of thought, well, we're easily too far away to be caught. When we measured it, it wasn't unreasonable. I think he needed to roll a 9, and that was scary because he rolls a 9, and again, that's game right there. Luckily, he didn't, got away. His giant did charge into the rear of my men-at-arms units. So there's maybe another angle on that. I wish that was one big horde I had, but those are those are 2 separate units. And when it's all done, you see you're going to notice the unit the general's in combat with is going down very rapidly. And the only thing he's winning combat, but I'm steadfast. I've got my general nearby now, so steadfast 9 rerollable. And now I'm just having to hack away at his marauders and just kill all of them because his giant is winning. Is going to make sure he wins combat every time just through sheer wounds. So we go to my turn. My Knights of the Realm rally, and again that's huge. If they didn't rally, it probably would have been the game right there because I have 2 characters plus an expensive unit. I pulled my general out of the Knight Errant unit because I just wanted to line him up with line of sight to the giant, and then I did a swift reform with my Knights Errant, and then I just kind of walked backwards. In hindsight, I don't know why I faced him towards their lines. There's no reason why I shouldn't just face him towards the sideline, my right, so that they don't have to take any chances with their impetuosity test. Anyway, this is the same thing, just a different angle. You can see this time I actually brought my fast cav into the rear of marauders. I don't like that because it's, you know, he's going to kill my guys pretty easily. But I felt that he was down to few enough guys that I might be able to just get a bunch of wounds on him this time and take care of that unit a lot more quickly. And when all's said and done, he only killed 1 of my fast cav, which was crazy. He had Curse of Honor here, so that spell is helping me still. Overall, it looks like you can see. So And this one, I just don't remember when I'm winning combat when he is. For the most part, he's winning combat. His giant really is failing. I mean, his thunder stomps, he's rolling 2. He swings with the club and he rolls 3. It's just he's killing a lot of guys, but probably even then not as much as he should. I'm not sure it really matters because probably no matter what, I'm going to stay steadfast for a long time. So Warriors of Chaos turn 6. There's really not a whole lot for him to do. He kind of moves his fast cav so he can conserve their points. It's really coming down to this fight right here. You can see he's just he's chopping through that one unit. That unit put another wound on the giant, so he's sitting on 3 wounds left. I'm hacking away at him, but not fast enough. He kills 2 more of my fast cav, and we all stick. We go to last turn of the game. My knights errant fail their damn impetuous test. They had the errantry banner, so it's taken on a -2 leadership. My general's nearby. I don't think they had a reroll. They may have. It didn't matter. They needed a 7. They failed it. And so what I did is I said, well, I'm just going to charge his general's unit because it's far away. I have to roll an 11 or else it's a failed charge, and that's what I want. And the damn guys rolled a 12. Damn it. Anyway, my general charges the rear of the giant. There's that. Just... this made me nervous. The general had a wound on him already, and that giant has always strikes first, and so he actually rolled, he fell over, and if he had fallen on my general, it probably just would have killed him, but he fell off to the side. My general came in, did 3 wounds on him, and 2 of them were heroic killing blows, so I got three combat res for each of the 2 heroic killing blow, plus the 3rd wound, so that's 7 combat res, plus a charge, plus the rear, which I had anyway. I know it's a different unit, so I would have an extra rear. So anyway, just, yeah, that's all it took there. So if you start on the right, my general killed his giant. Otherwise, we chopped up his marauders to the point where he only had like 3 of them left. They finally broke from combat. I think I went in that time with my battle standard bearer in the flank too, which helped. Ran him down easily enough. My fast cav died. Here on the left, my knights errant charged in. They were dead to a man before they ever struck. They didn't have a ward save, and his general and battle standard bearer killed all of them except for 1, and then the rest of his guys easily killed the 1. It was brutal. So a real topsy-turvy game. Kind of fun in that way. Just some real goofy things happening. We were so excited just about the topsy-turviness of it that we left and didn't even figure out who won the game. And so later on we were texting each other trying to figure it out. And it ends up that I scored 132 points more than he did. So technically it's a victory for me, but really for all intents and purposes it's a draw. Just crazy. I love how it ended with the Knights Errant charging off on their own and just getting bitch slapped. It was great. Anyway, that was that game. Hope you enjoyed it.